Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Fruitful 7. Today is exciting because we're actually going to begin a series of devotionals that will be focused on the life of King David, and we'll actually be calling it Lessons from the Life of King David. And so to jump right into it, Samuel is the prophet who has been tasked with being the voice of the Lord, being God's mouthpiece, if you will, during the time that King Saul and King David are in leadership of the nation of Israel. And so this point in time came, and what we'll be covering today will be in First Samuel chapter 16. This point in time comes where the Lord reveals to Samuel and begins to show him, hey, King Saul is no longer my anointed man. David is going to be the person that Samuel will anoint, but the Lord doesn't reveal that to Samuel just yet. He actually takes Samuel through this period where Samuel just has to trust what the Lord is telling him to do and be obedient to where the Lord is sending him. And so in 1 Samuel chapter 16, we get to this place where Samuel, in verse 4, it says, did what the Lord directed and went to Bethlehem. When the elders of the town met him, they trembled and asked, do you come in peace? In peace, he replied, in verse 5, I've come to sacrifice to the Lord. Consecrate yourselves and come with me to the sacrifice. Then he consecrated Jesse and his sons and invited them to the sacrifice. So right here, we see that Samuel has come into contact with Jesse, and Jesse is about to be questioned by Samuel more than a few times. And it's laughable to me because of how many sons Jesse was actually asked to comb through until they got to David. And so to briefly just kind of chronicle everyone that Samuel inquired to Jesse about, he asked about his son Eliab, he asked about his son Abinadab, he asked about his son Shammah, he asked about another son, I believe, as well after that. And they get to this point where Samuel is like, hey, are these all the sons you have? And Jesse says, well, I have one more. And so we'll begin to read here at 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 11. Samuel asked him, are these all the sons you have? They're still the youngest, he answered, but right now he's tending the sheep. Samuel told Jesse, send for him. We won't sit down to eat until he gets here. And so to take a brief pause right there, and this is actually one of the lessons that we can get from this part of David's story, and we're actually learning it from Samuel's perspective. Samuel was so diligent and so willing to do what the Lord had sent him to do that he wasn't going to be incomplete in his mission. He wanted to be very thorough because he knew that Jesse was the person that he was sent to find the next king to anoint for Israel. And so kudos to Samuel for being diligent, to be thorough in his execution of the mission that the Lord had placed him on. And so continuing to verse 12, so Jesse sent for him. He had beautiful eyes and a healthy, handsome appearance. Speaking of David. Then the Lord said, anoint him, for he is the one. So Samuel took the horn of oil, anointed him in the presence of his brothers, and the Spirit of the Lord took control of David from that day forward. Then Samuel set out and went to Ramah. And so this part of the story is very important, but I think it's filled with some very valuable lessons. But to fix our gaze and our focus, I actually want to focus a little bit on Jesse, the father of David, for a moment, because it talks about how David was anointed and the Spirit of the Lord took control of David from that day forward. And so although Samuel was very diligent in his mission to go and seek out the next anointed king of Israel, I also want to give kudos to the father, Jesse, because Jesse was diligent to continue to comply with the request that Samuel had of the Lord. And so as we can see, although I'm sure it may have been tough for Jesse, thinking about it from the human perspective, to submit his youngest son into the service of the Lord, and also consequently into the service of the nation of Israel, Jesse's willingness to do it brought about many, many awesome and great things for the nation of Israel years down the road. To put it plainly, the Lord had a plan to absolve the throne of Israel from Saul, and his new person, the person that he was going to anoint to lead the nation of Israel after this, was David. And we see that Jesse had the willingness, he had a level of submission in his own heart to allow even his youngest son to be put in position to be used by the Lord. And the obedience by Jesse, I admire, because even though it may have been tough for him from the human perspective, his obedience set up not only his son David to be in position that he needed to be in for the Lord to use him, but the nation of Israel was also blessed because of the submission of Jesse and consequently of David and Samuel as well, to put the entire nation in position to be used for the things that the Lord had set up in his plan for all of them. And so I think the challenge for us, I believe the challenge for us is to be willing to submit and release things to the Lord, even those things that are very precious to us, those things that transparently maybe even we think we would know a better plan or method for utilization. We should submit those things and give those things to the Lord as well. Even people, maybe some of you on here are parents and you have a plan or an idea for your kids that you think should be implemented, but you have to be willing to submit to whatever the Lord is saying or whatever his plan is, and be humble enough to say, Lord, not my will, but your will be done. So that's our first lesson from the life of David that we'll cover, and I'm excited for the lessons that will follow. As you all may know, and if you don't know, I'll let you know, the life of David had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of twists and turns, but thankfully a lot of areas where we see the Lord being at work. And so I'm excited to unpack that with y'all. Thank you once again for tuning in, and I will see you guys again next week. God bless you. And remember, the kingdom of heaven is at hand.